Tammy, so it's been announced today that Lords is going to be hosting the final of the T20 World Cup in 2026. You've obviously got fond memories of playing in a final here. I mean, you were player of the series back in 2017. It was a tournament that really captured the imagination of the public. I imagine you hope for more of the same come 2026.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, could it really be anywhere else? There's nowhere more iconic in the world than a Lords final, and having been here in 2017 and lifted the World 50 Over trophy, very fond memories. And England have got a very good record in finals at Lords, actually. So, hopefully that the T20 team will get there. And I think it's great to see so many of the big venues hosting the group games as well. I think it's a really exciting time for women's cricket.
I was going to say, I mean, the Oval, Emirates Old Trafford, I mean, the Test grounds, essentially the traditional big grounds are going to be playing host to a tournament which, if it captures the imagination in the way that the 2017 50 Over World Cup, I mean, who knows where it's going to go, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, some of the girls that were at that 2017 World Cup in the crowd, I had a picture with Izzy Wong. I think she was still at school, and Alice Capsey was here. And you never know, some of those girls could be playing here next year, which would just be absolutely amazing. And I think kind of a credit to how far the game's come in just under a decade since that 2017. Now it's, playing at the test venues, playing at the big venues. I think the game's going from strength to strength, and who knows, next year could be another absolutely amazing event to catapult the women's game.
You've been part of the England setup for so long now. I mean, does it almost feel like a before and after event, 2017? Is it, you've seen the rise and the success and the popularity, the exposure grow so much since 2009, 2010. But 2017, was that the moment that everything kind of clicked, and where we are now with professional women's leagues and so much exposure on the game, does it kind of get charted back to the success of England and your team out there on the outfield?
Yeah, I feel like there's almost a few eras. I think you look back to that 2009 team that also won the World T20 here with Charlotte Edwards as captain. That was a big moment for the likes of myself coming through. But then 2017 is probably that real professional era, the start of that. And I remember at the beginning of that tournament hearing the ECB's goal was to sell out Lords for the final, and we all kind of laughed and thought, no chance of 26,000 people going to come and watch a final, and hopefully we'll get there. And then obviously it happened. Massive moment for the game. But now actually I think we're talking about the fact that we deserve to be playing on the likes of Old Trafford, Headingley, Edgbaston, the Oval, Lords, and obviously Bristol as well. But I think it's great to see that now it's no longer a kind of having to put it out there to force people to come. Now actually I believe people will want to come, and I'm hoping that it will be a record kind of ticket sales for a World Women's T20 event.
It has been changing times for England cricket. The national team, of course, has got a new coach and a new captain. So what are you expecting? I mean, two people you know so well. You must be aware more than any other about what strengths they're both going to bring to their respective roles. What are you expecting to see?
Yeah, I think it's a really exciting time having Lottie and Nat come in as the new leaders of the team. Obviously, I've played with Lottie from the days back at Kent since I was about 14 years old, and there is no one in the world more passionate about women's cricket. So to have her in charge is amazing, and really looking forward to seeing what she does with this squad and how far she can push us forward. And again, Nat has given so much to an England shirt. She's the best player in the world, will go down as the best England player ever, I reckon. And to have her leading the team now is really exciting to see what the two of them can do together.
It's been a couple of months now since disappointing tour of Australia, and of course the T20 World Cup in 2024. Has the team come together since then? Is there almost like a process of grieving after it's happened? But now you've got a little bit of distance between yourself and what happened out there. Have you kind of come to terms a little bit more? Can you point to areas that maybe looking back you think, actually, if we did things a little bit differently there, maybe we would have had a different result? What's the thought process now?
Yeah, I think grieving's actually a really good word for it. I think often, quite rightly, we were criticised for our performances, and we did very much underperform in that Ashes in particular. But as a player, that's not what we expect of ourselves. And certainly when it happens, it does really hit you hard. And we all we all care about that team and how we perform, and certainly hit us hard, but having a bit of downtime to come home and reflect, and every single one of us just wants to get better and get this team back on track. And yeah, unfortunately a couple of people have probably taken the brunt of the criticism and maybe aren't with us anymore, but the rest of us have got to look in the mirror and go, we've got to get better and do the right thing by this team, and we're certainly not going to shy away from some hard work and some tough conversations to come back stronger.
Got the WPL now, the women's game in this country has launched its professional league. You've got the 50 over World Cup this year, you've got the T20 over World Cup next year. I mean, this is the time to be alive, isn't it? If you're a women's cricketer, I mean, it's never been better than this.
Yeah, absolutely. I almost wish I was 5 years younger so that I could be maybe, really looking at what's next for the next 10 years, but certainly enjoying it while we can. Women's cricket's never been better, and the fact that there's always just something around the corner, and the fact that the 50 overs coming up, and T20 here in England, and like you said, all those leagues around the world now, I think it's just a great time to be involved.
We all wish we were 5 years younger. You have had such a long career though. I mean, is there in your mind that maybe the end will be, you are approaching it in some regard with a final here in 2020 cricket maybe? Is that perfect way to go out?
I think everyone has the fairy tale in mind. I'm certainly someone with a vivid imagination of how you'd want to go out, but I think for me you can't hang your hat on anything as a professional cricketer. I think you think of all the greats of the game, how many actually got that fairy tale ending. I think it's tough to kind of, you obviously hope for it, but the chances of getting it are pretty slim. So I think for me at the moment it's just about trying to be as good as I can be, get the best out of myself, and whatever I think I can keep trying to work on a few things and get better, I'll keep plodding on for a bit longer.
Brilliant. Well, good luck to you.
Cheers.